Previously, doctors have made it into the top 5 of the Miss South Africa pageant, while a few of them have walked away with the crown. Others have gone on to make it big on the international stage, and this year there are 2 medics in the race for the glitzy Miss South Africa crown set to be staged in October. Among them is 26-year-old Dr. Ferini Dayal, who is hoping to follow in the footsteps of those before. And Dr. Dayal joins us now to discuss her aspirations. Good evening to you, and thank you so much for your time tonight. As we speak, then, the clock is ticking to October. Talk to us about your journey and the decision then to enter the Miss South Africa pageant.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. So the reason I entered Miss South Africa is because it's a platform that represents women who advocate for change. And I've been doing this on my own for the last 10 years, not just through my life, but within the field of medicine. And I entered because I embody what I think Miss South Africa should be, and that is someone who has been on the ground and on the forefront with our people, who stands with them in unity, who loves our country, and who wants ideally what's best for our nation. And with my degree and with medicine in general, I've experienced both life and both death with our people. I've seen the consequences of unemployment, of abuse, of teenage pregnancy, and those are just to name a few. And in doing so, in facing these issues, I've had the privilege to use my knowledge to save lives in the process. We are not a flawless society, and this is why I chose Miss South Africa. I feel that I have the ability to create change on a global platform, and that's why I believe they chose me.
And when you look at, the situation we are finding ourselves in the midst of a pandemic, one of the things that you've now had to do is to really be at the forefront of helping to fight the spread of COVID-19. How has that been for you?
For as long as I've been in medicine, I think we have been always at the midst of epidemics. We have trauma, we have gender-based violence, we have rape. We are actually known as the rape capital of the world. What we see every day is that we deal with epidemics. I feel that I've always been prepared, and we as doctors in South Africa have always been prepared because we are so renowned to receiving what we do in hospitals, being overwhelmed, being understaffed, being under-resourced. So the current pandemic is unfortunate for us, and I'm so sad that we have to deal with the deaths that we are dealing with at the moment, but we as South African doctors, we are prepared, and I think that we are the best that we can be, and going forward we can make a change if we all work together to do so.
And how would you say this pandemic has affected you as an individual?
It's really tough working in the conditions that we work in general. It's sad for us to see the current deaths and the situations that we are seeing at the moment, but it's also important, and it's made me realize that we need to be transparent. A lot of the decisions that get made higher up are not what is happening on the ground and what we are experiencing. There's often times where we are understaffed and we are under-resourced, and there are protocols that are being established and are not being used in the country at the moment. And I wish that we had more resources and more information in terms of what we can utilize and actually manage the situation a little better. So it has been tough, but I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to use my knowledge to do the best that I can for our people at the moment.
And how do you see yourself fitting into, the number of Miss South Africas that we've seen, should you win this title? And what would be your project and your call for change? Which area would you say you will pick?
Well, I've worked in the healthcare system for over 10 years. My passion is medicine and will always be medicine. I know there's a huge variety of options that I can choose in terms of medicine, but ideally what I want for our people is transparency and clarity, and that's just for women's rights and women's rights in health. I'll mainly focus on gender-based violence, rape, and teenage pregnancy because those go hand in hand. And there's many things that we can do to achieve better results and better resolutions in terms of what we're seeing in our country in those issues today. So that's what I would stand for, and I'd want transparency and clarity in those issues, and I'll push for that, and definitely for women's rights in medicine.
And for others, they say that, being crowned at a time like this means you're not able to do your work at a full scale as you would have. We saw Miss Universe, Zozibini Tunzi, really just reigning during a time when the world was gripped with the coronavirus and thus not being able to go everywhere she would have liked to go. Do you think this pandemic could steal the shine away from you should you be crowned?
No, absolutely not. I think it's a privilege to have the opportunity to speak on a global platform and to create change and resolution. And I don't think what's currently happening in the world should take away from that. I think we actually have the ability to use these platforms to create bigger change and to create more resolutions and more for our people in terms of speaking out. Technology is the way forward, and if we utilize it in the correct manner, we can always do more and we can always achieve more if we do that together.
And when you look then at the current work that you do now and the Miss South Africa pageant, let's talk then about marrying the two. How will it be for you then if you are crowned in October? Because it is quite possible.
I hope so. Well, I definitely want to use my platform and use my voice to, like I said, make change. And that is my first and sole purpose in using this pageant and using what I've learned in my career to do so. So marrying medicine for me with Miss South Africa would be a massive accomplishment, not just for who I am as a person, but for the people and for what I can achieve for the people. In terms of what I've actually experienced in medicine, I've been on the foreground with our people. I've seen so much and experienced so much with them, and I don't think there's a better representative who can speak from a point of view of our South African people than me. And I've been doing that for as long as I can remember, and that's why I think I'm fit and perfect for this opportunity.
I tell you what, I don't envy those judges because they've got some tough decisions to make. If any, all these finalists are anything to go by. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Dayal, and good luck for the competition. Hopefully, if you win, we are hoping to speak to you here on News Feed PM.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was Dr. Ferini Dayal, a Miss South Africa 2021 pageant hopeful. Anything is possible. She says then that she's planning to use this platform to really advocate for change when it comes to the lives of young women. And interesting to watch then that competition, as you would have seen, some fierce competition she has there. There is, quite a number of contestants that she is going to be standing alongside with. And there's also Moradwe Masima, who is a medical doctor herself as well. And certainly good luck to all of them as they try then to impress the judges in the run up to becoming Miss South Africa 2021. I wonder who it's going to be.